let's talk to the management of Dodla Dairy. We have the managing director at Dodla Dairy joining us on the show. A very good afternoon to you, Mr. Reddy. Thank you so much for joining us on ET Now. This is Cheryl on the other side. And let's talk about the company's earnings in the quarter gone by. And the company has actually seen the highest revenue growth when you compare it to other peers. If you could tell us what exactly led to the stellar performance in the quarter gone by, and also the most important question, will this growth continue?
Thank you very much for having us on your show. It has been a good performance because I think compared to the previous years of COVID, now we are coming back to the real numbers, and therefore we have seen this huge uptake in the sales volume growth. This will continue for the current year, at least in terms of the top line growth that we are seeing. Even from a bottom line perspective, there has been a little bit of pressure in terms of the percentage of what it is. But this is due to the procurement prices increasing, because when we get this huge growth on the top line, it's difficult for the farmers at the back end to increase productivity in the same proportion. Therefore, there is a little bit of pressure on the supply, and therefore the prices have gone up. But I think this will continue till the year end.
Right, Mr. Reddy. This is Vinny also joining in the conversation. Good afternoon. And, I want to understand in terms of market share. Obviously, have you gained any market share? I believe it looks like you have actually gained market share this quarter as well. And if you could tell us the total market share currently for this quarter.
Good afternoon, Vinny. But I think we have been gaining market share over a period in terms of dollar increment, because the overall market is really huge from the areas where we operate. Currently, we think in the areas where we operate, as per our numbers, we should be around 7.5% of the market share.
Right. Mr. Reddy, let's talk about your operating performance. It's been very strong when you look at it on a sequential basis. Could you tell us what has led to this strong performance when it comes to your margins, and also what sort of margin outlook have you penciled in for the second half of the financial year?
See, the margins have been strong because a lot of work had been done a little earlier, a couple of years ago, when we started concentrating on our procurement network. In fact, we were expecting it to be much better, but unfortunately for the shortage of milk, it is not shown, which I think will help us in the years to come in terms of what the back-end network we have created. Coming for the margins going forward, I think we will see the stable, steady state margins as we have seen in the first half. They will continue to be the same for the second half too. We have been able to, whatever little prices that have come up in terms of increase in either the farmer prices or due to other inputs which have increased from a global scenario point of view, we've been able to pass on a bit of it to the customers and improved our efficiencies, and thereby we're able to maintain our margins.
So stable margins is what we could expect coming in the second half as well. But, what about your value-added products? How was the performance this time of these products, as well as what is the contribution now coming in from these value-added products?
Value-added products have moved up to almost 27% of the overall revenue that the value-added products have been contributing on a half-yearly basis. So, and these, I think, will continue to increase in a slow but steady manner in terms of 0.5% to 1% as we keep going forward. We also have a bit of seasonality that comes into the dairy value-added products, because when we take ice cream or when we take the lassis or the buttermilks, when the temperatures are higher, the sales are a little higher compared to when there is rains and temperatures are a little lower. But overall, I think from a convenience point of view, the customers are moving more towards already made dairy products. Instead of making curd at home, buying curd is increasing. So I think it will only increase as we go forward. There will be more preference from customers from the sake of convenience point of view.
That's quite rightly said, actually. Convenience is very key when it comes to consumer sentiment as well. But let's talk about a particular, the lumpy skin disease that affected most of the cattle market as well. Has your company seen any impact of that, or are we likely to see any impact going forward with regards to that? And how is the situation on ground as the industry as a whole?
So basically, from what information we could gather, lumpy skin has affected a lot more in Rajasthan, followed by Gujarat. We did have lumpy skin in the southern part of India where we operate a year and a half ago. So I think the farmers were more prepared whenever there was an outbreak in terms of giving it the goat pox vaccine and sort of containing it. It did spread into the southern states too. Telangana has got a few animals which are affected. Now it's spreading into Andhra. But I think the farmers are aware of it and the preventive care has been taken. The lumpy skin impact will definitely be felt in terms of what we were supposed to have a lot more of milk this year has been curtailed, which has an impact on the prices of the commodities of milk powder and fat going up. We think this impact will continue till next year season when it comes in the June, July. By that time, it should then improve because the lumpy skin will be behind us and things would have improved by then.
Right, all right. Then we'll leave it there, Mr. Reddy. Thank you so much for joining us on ET Now to talk about the quarter gone by for Dodla Dairy as well as what you're projecting going ahead. And that was Mr. Sunil Reddy, who's the MD at Dodla Dairy, joining us on